My name is Forrest Breyfogle. I'm the CEO of Smarter Solutions, which I founded after a 24-year career with IBM in 1992. I'm a 1968 graduate from Rolla. I majored in mechanical engineering. When I started school at Rolla, I was just scared to death. Boy, it sure got my attention. It taught me a lot of discipline. I said, I got to really work at this to be successful.
I met Forrest at the Austin Snow Skiing Club, and he asked me out for a date. And I had two rules. One, I was not going to date anybody from IBM. Number two, the person had to have a real nice car. He picks me up in this old, beat-up 67 Malibu. When I got in the car, we drove through a dip of water and my feet got wet. And I asked him, "Where do you work at?" And he replied, "Oh, I work at IBM." I'm just going, oh my gosh, I broke two of my rules. But I learned that Forrest had a unique leadership and he had a good outlook on life. From then on, I knew that this is the guy I was going to marry.
Now, this is a 1967 Chevelle Malibu, and I bought it for my final semester in Rolla. It cost a lot more than I planned on. In '75, I started a design of experiment course, and that changed my life. So you get these forks in the road, and they're not planned at all, but you start taking them. So I had the opportunity after 24 years to take a bridge of retirement, which I did, and founded Smarter Solutions. And basically what Six Sigma is, it's a methodology to go in and reduce the amount of defects. Six Sigma is supposed to be equivalent of 3.4 defects per million. The other thing that's often associated with Six Sigma is lean. Lean is dealing with workflows and reducing waste.
Forrest is a disciple of the total quality management. He's written 13 books towards that end, and this is one of them. You see how thick it is. I think he wrote it in an hour, he told me.
And often people refer to my books as the Bible, so if people are looking for something soft and touchy and feely, well, mine's probably not the one to look at.
Forrest really has been, quite frankly, an inspiration.
He's very passionate about continuous improvement, and that's quite contagious.
I greatly appreciate his zeal for quality and his enthusiasm, which is contagious, and his personal help for me as a colleague and friend.
Forrest has the ability to bring, rather I should say wring, the best from his employees, colleagues, and students.
This business that he started is as far as I'm concerned, creme de la creme of quality control training for management.
He has been one of my biggest advocates. He's taught me throughout the years what it's important to improve and have in process improvement in my nursing degree and health companies.
He was very enthusiastic, very excited about this technology that he's created. He explained it in a way that was very simple, very applicable, and I was able to actually bring some of the examples that he had back to my own business and implement those, and they worked.
Forrest was one of the main statisticians to go see if you wanted an experiment done. And so I think he's pretty well respected professionally.
Forrest is the kind of guy who, when asks a tough question, the toughest question you can ever think of, which you think no one else has ever asked before, will always say, "Oh, well, we solved that this way over at IBM, or at the last company, we dealt with that problem this way." So there's never a tough question that he hasn't dealt with before.
Forrest is one of those people who is a big achiever in life compared to other people. He's a dynamo, basically. He's one of those guys who really likes to get things done. He's very active.
But I think he was the first one that really brought the business thinking into quality. And I think one of his prime things he's contributed sounds very simple, but really important is he really talks to people and gets them to understand what it is they ought to measure.
He's always been quite consistent in his message, if you will. Forrest is quite intertwined with ASQ, and in fact he's been the examining chair for the local Austin section, I guess for close to 10 years now.
And Forrest initially comes across in all of his speaking engagements a bit awkward, a bit stumbly when he gets going, but it almost is endearing to the point you get engaged with him and realize he's not arrogant because he's a truly honest person that doesn't have a subversive motive.
And there's a very, very short list of people that I know have met that practice what they preach. Consultants are very good about telling you how you ought to be doing it, not doing it themselves, but Forrest lives it. He's tried to help the airport with their parking situations.
And I've seen him put away some of his personal preferences for what he believes is the good of our business, but also just the business industry. And he wants to make a change in the world instead of worrying about making a few dollars.
I nominated Forrest because after 2 years of working with him, I was so impressed with his ability, his intelligence, his energy level, and the body of work that he had accomplished professionally that I felt it was deserving of recognition.
And Rolla really gave me the good foundation. I didn't really appreciate that at the time. And also I think what's really important for people to do is look at the forks in the road and go in and consider taking those forks in the road.